Hey guys, welcome to East Coast Brewing and Barbecue. And today, what are we doing? We're going to be brewing up a saison. Now, hey, first of all, big shout out to Mangrove Jacks for sending me some of their brew kits to brew and review. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be brewing this saison, right? Now, the cool thing about Mangrove Jacks is it doesn't come in a can. It comes in this pouch. And what it is a cold filtered brewery pouch is what they refer to. And it says here the latest cold filtered packaging technology to better retain unique malt flavors and aromas. It says here cold filtered for optimal flavor and aroma. Mangrove Jack's beer pouches use the latest cold filtering nitrogen flushing technology, to ensure that the malt remains fresh and full of flavor and aroma. This gives you the opportunity to brew a higher quality beer than you would get from a traditional canned beer product. So you know what? I'm actually excited to give this a try. I've never actually brewed a saison before at all. This one here is supposed to come out at approximately 6.2 ABV. The IBUs on this is 15 to 20. And the final gravity is supposed to be 1.001. Wow, okay, that's really low. And we're only going to be brewing 15 liters of this. Now, traditionally, when we're doing those 5-gallon kits or the 23-liter kits, it's 23 liters. But this one's only 15 liters, which is fine, whatever. Now, here's the thing about this one. You're supposed to ferment at around 26 to 32 degrees Celsius. Whose house is at that temperature, right? Or I guess in Fahrenheit, that'd be 79 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow, okay, that's pretty high. So what we're gonna do is I have a heat belt, so we're gonna put a heat belt around the fermenter so that we can keep that temperature up. So not a big deal. And we're gonna do this thing straight out of the box, how they recommend, because we're gonna be doing a review on this, so we wanna brew it how they recommend it. And the only thing we're gonna be adding is 500 grams of dextrose. So dextrose sugar. It's corn sugar, basically. It's powdered. So I've already weighed out 500 grams, so we're going to be putting that in. So what is a saison? Saison. Well, you know what? Before we get started, though, let's take a little break, have a little bit of a home brew. Right in the mason jar. Okay, so this here, this is a Munton's wheat ale that I brewed it with a hop edition. I didn't put it on the channel. I didn't actually film it. I was lazy. I didn't do it, but it's really good. All right, so saison. Let's check out, you know what? The little black book of beer always comes in handy. All right, so saison. Origin is Belgium and France. Alcohol by volume is 4.5 to 9.0. So anywhere in between, obviously. This one here is going to come in at 6.2 apparently. We'll do a hydrometer test to see what it actually comes out at. Okay, so characteristics. Saison or Siason is the traditional farmhouse ale of southern Belgium, originally brewed in March to be consumed in late summer and fall, usually flavored with star anise and dried orange peels. Saison is an incredibly refreshing, tart, medium-bodied orangey brew with a rocky white head that forms the classic Belgian lace on the inside of the glass. Saison DuPont refers to this style. Saison DuPont defines this style, but most saisons are spicy, fruity, and crisp golden orange colored brews. So yeah, looking forward to trying this one out. We'll see what happens. Okay, so first thing we want to do is all right, so first thing we're going to do is actually heat this up in some warm water to loosen things up, and we're going to boil up some water and get everything mixed up in the fermenter. Today we're going to be using the excuse me, that stuff's got some carbonation. We're going to be using the Cooper's DIY beer kit, the fermenter that comes with that one. So we're going to be using that one. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go sterilize all my equipment. You guys don't need to see that. And I'm going to get some water boiled up, and we're going to get things rolling with this, all right? So I'll see you in a few seconds. We've got 2 liters of water boiled up, because that's what it called for on the instructions. And we got our fermenter all sanitized, sterilized, whatever you call it. So it's ready to go. So instructions say to warm this in some hot water, which I've done. So it's nice and warm. And we're just going to open it up, pour it in, add our dextrose and hot water, and we'll be good to go. You know what I'm going to do though? Just trying to figure out the best way to open this pouch. It looks like you can just rip it straight open, but maybe not. Okay, I haven't used one of these pouches before, so you know what we're going to do? We're going to get the handy scissors out. Just give it a cut across the top here. These have been sanitized as well. All right, super simple. Okay. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm thinking these are a little bit more messier than the cans, but we'll see. Well, maybe not. Looks like you can probably get most of it out without having to rinse them out. Looks good. Yeah, I know the lighting in the mini brewery here sucks really bad, but so we're just gonna roll this down, guys, just like this. Almost like doing a toothpaste, you know? Squeeze it all out. There we go. Get the rest of it out there. Now you can, if you wanted to, rinse this out with hot water. But I think we were able to get most of it out by doing it that way. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we're going to add in our hot boiled water. So we got 2 liters of boiled water. All right, let's give her. Nice and easy. There we go. And our 500 grams of dextrose corn sugar. Boom. Mixed up. Well, not mixed up, but put in. Okay, now we're going to mix it up. So then you just want to mix it up. Make sure this is all dissolved really well. Always make sure that your spigot on your fermenter, if you have a spigot on your fermenter, is closed, because that would really suck to have it starting to spill out on you. That was really nice of Mangrove Jacks to send us a couple of kits. I don't know if you guys have checked out the channel yet, but I did their, oh man, what was it? I can't even remember. It was a pale ale, I think. It was more like a Belgian triple, to be honest with you. It came out like 9%. It was crazy. Check out the channel for that one. It's a Mangrove Jack, so. All right, this looks like it's really, really good and dissolved. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to top it up now with cold water. I just use my tap water. Tap water's fine, you know. You can use bottled water if you want. I have used bottled water with a couple of my brews, but my tap water here is just fine. I've brewed tons of beers with it, and it works out great. So I'm going to go grab a bunch of cold water. We're going to top it up to the 15-liter mark. We'll be back to show you that. Okay, see you in a bit. All right, guys. We got her topped up to 15 liters. So we're just going to give it a really good stir now. Let me see if I can show you guys this here. There you go. See, 15 liters. So we're just going to give this a really good stir. And then we're going to take a hydrometer reading so we know what our starting gravity is, okay? That looks pretty good. I think it's looking pretty good. Smells really good. It smells citrusy. We'll see what the final product comes out at. I think that's probably good. All right. Okay, let's grab a hydrometer. There it is. I'm like looking all over the place, like looking for this hydrometer. Where the hell did you go, right? Hold on. I'll be right back. Can't see me. Now you can. Okay, so we'll let that settle down just a little bit. Put that up here. Okay, now that we have our hydrometer reading and we've got everything mixed up here, we're going to put in our yeast. Now this, I don't know if you can see that there. Yeah, you can. It says saison yeast. So I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know a lot about yeast. I know there's all kinds of different strains of yeast. There's ale yeasts and, you know, all kinds of different stuff going on. Maybe I should really do some education on the yeasts, but I do have a book that actually has all that stuff in it. I just haven't read it yet. Anyway, I'm just going to trust that the yeast that they gave me with this kit is going to be the right stuff. All right? So let's go ahead and add that. This one, you're supposed to stir in apparently, so it's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and stir that in. Pretty straightforward stuff, right? All right, give it a good stir in. Boom. We are ready to ferment. Now, I'm going to get that heat belt on this thing. We're going to let it ferment. It said at about 10 days on the instructions to check it to see what the gravity is, specific gravity, and if it's close to whatever is recommended, which was 1.001. Okay, let's see what we're starting at here. So we're not starting too high. We're starting off at, hold on here, I know this always takes a little while. We're starting off at 1.040. 1.040 is our starting gravity. So that's what we're gonna be starting at. Boom, she's ready to go. So if it goes down to 1.001, I don't know, I'll have to do the calculation, but we'll get there. So we'll let this ferment. We're going to check the specific gravity, and when it's ready to bottle, I'll be back to show you the bottling, and then we'll ultimately do the taste test and see what the saison is like. I'm looking forward to trying this one. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you in a bit. Hey guys, what's happening? It's time to bottle. Now, a couple things. First, you got to have a home brew, right? Good. That was a wheat ale I did. I didn't do it on the channel. I was doing it during this whole COVID shit. And I don't know, I just wasn't filming. I just needed to make some beer. I was worried the liquor stores are going to close. Anyway, it's good. It's really good. So a couple things. It's been just over 3 weeks, actually. I thought this would be ready to bottle after about 15 days or so, but I had some problems. My heat belt wasn't working properly, so I couldn't get this thing up to 85 degrees, which is what the recommended fermenting temperature was. Around there anyways. 84, 83, something like that. But anyways, long story short, this is a saison yeast. So I don't really know what that means either, but I think it means that it probably is a higher temperature fermenting yeast. So anyways, so this was still fermenting around the 68 to 72. It fermented out, no problem. It just took a lot longer. I gave it a taste test when I was testing the final gravity, and tastes really good. So it's good. I think it's going to taste really good. So we're going to bottle it up today. But so it's supposed to come out at around 6.2, but I have no idea how that's going to be because we started off at 1.040. And it ended up, just like it said, it was going to ferment out to about 1.001. It came out at exactly 1.000, so that's pretty cool. I don't know what that calculation is. When I go to do the taste test, I'll let you know what that is, but it's definitely not 6.2% ABV. Anyways, whatever, right? I think maybe you'll get the 6.2 if you use liquid malt extract, because in the instructions they said use a liquid malt extract, so a can of it, or 500 grams of dextrose. So we used the 500 grams of dextrose, so maybe if you had used the malt extract, it would have given you a higher starting gravity. But anyways, I think, you know, starting at 1.040 and ending at 1.000 is going to come out just fine. It'll be over 5, I believe. So anyway, whatever. Let's have some more home brew. All right, so what's going on? All right, so I got my bottles. I sanitized them all. I use Star San a lot of times, okay? Pretty simple stuff. And then I've taken 2 teaspoons, because these are 740 milliliter bottles, so I used 2 teaspoons of dextrose sugar, and I just use a funnel and put it in. So I've already done that. You don't need me to see me do that. It's really kind of boring. I think some of my other videos I've done it in. I also use those carbonation drops sometimes. They're pretty cool. And basically we're just going to fill these up just like this. And then I'm going to let them settle down a bit, and then I'm just going to cap them, invert them a couple times, and then we're just going to let them condition and carbonate, and we'll be back to do the video on the taste test. So pretty straightforward stuff, guys. Yeah, saison. Let's see how it turns out. Right on. Cheers. Wait, I want to cheers you with that, although it's going to taste good, I think. Cheers. We'll be back to do the taste test. That shit's good. Hey guys, what's happening? It is time to taste test this. Okay, so I let it condition for actually 3 weeks. I let this one condition for 3 weeks because I was busy doing some other stuff. I had a lot of brews left over because I've been doing a lot of brewing lately, so I really wasn't itching to dig into this one, but now I am. So 3 weeks, it's been conditioning, 2 weeks in the bottles, and 1 week in the fridge. So let's give it a try. So we did the calculation, and it was actually 1.001 is what it finished off at, exactly what they said it would. It wasn't 1.000. But anyways, long story short, it came out at 5.1%. Now, it was supposed to be 6.2, but I think, like I said, that was supposed to be error because we used the dextrose instead of the liquid malt extract. But whatever, 5.1, that's fine. So you know what? We got the mason jar. Hey, it's a farmhouse beer, right? Saison, you know, started in the farmhouses or whatever. So we'll use a mason jar, but we always do anyway. All right, let's see what we got here. It seems really carbonated, so we'll see. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's got some carbonation, so I'm hoping it's not over-carbonated. Yeah, she's coming up. Yep, this one's over-carbonated, boys and girls. So that's too much. But let's see how it turns out. See, that's the only thing about when you're putting sugar in your bottles. You know, sometimes you might get a little, you know, crazy. Put a little too much in. Alright. You know what? We won't worry about pouring the rest of that in here. But hey, beautiful color. Nice, beautiful color. Look at that. Clarity's awesome. It's got an interesting smell. It smells almost a little bit cidery. I don't know. Let's give it a try. Let's take it for a spin, see what happens. It's not bad. It's got good carbonation. Like I said, I think it's a little over-carbonated, but that's okay. Not all the bottles will be like that. You know, when you're doing that, putting the scoops into the bottle, sometimes it's not as even. That's one thing I like about those carbonation drops. It's always even. or when you bulk prime, you know. But anyways, so it's got a really nice finish to it, like it's just a mildly bitter finish up front. I find it a little bit too sweet, almost a little bit cidery. And you know what, guys, I think we may have screwed this one up, because I think that saison yeast has to ferment at that higher temperature, and we didn't get that because there was the heat belt issues. And I mean, it fermented out. Obviously, we got 5.1% alcohol. I mean, it's not terrible, okay? But I mean, this to me is like, yeah, this is a beginner homebrew. Tastes cidery, that kind of stuff. Mind if I let it condition a little longer? You know, it's funny because the more I'm drinking it now, I actually don't mind it. It's weird. It's weird how when you first try something, it's like, it's almost like you're, I don't know, it's weird. But I don't mind it actually now. It's okay. But I think, guys, I would call this one probably a failure, because it's got that upfront cidery smell and that upfront cidery taste. Will I drink the rest of them? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's got a nice color, nice clarity. I mean, the finish is really nice. So yeah, you know, I'll let them condition a little bit longer, see what we get. But I mean, all in all, hey, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I think this time we lost, but hey, whatever. So hey, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, you know, whatever you want. We're going to be doing some cool things in the next little bit here, so keep it locked on the channel. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.